The churn of pistons, the grinding of gears. A figure clad in red stands before his congregation. Wires snake from his body, attaching him to the very podium upon which he stands. Electric praise crackles through his nerves as he raises his hands in exultation and proclaims a prayer in sacred binary. His flock lifts their voices to join his, though their throats have since been replaced with voice boxes of plastic and metal. The electronic chatter becomes a song of ones and zeros, a transmission, a plea, a prayer for salvation. May the Omnissiah deliver them from the weakness of their flesh. May they find purity in the machine. This is the path of the machine god. This is the path of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Welcome to another episode of G-Mineo! I'm your host and resident lore master Patrick, and with me as always are my faithful subjects, Seth and Brady. Say hi, boys.
Hello.
Hello. That's right, boys. We will be looking at the Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, basically, for those of you new to this, I'll be showing these two neonates a couple miniatures, and they'll have to guess their lore or combat applications, and the closest one gets a little point. Let's begin with the basics.
Okay, I'm ready.
The Skitarii Ranger and the Vanguard.
Interesting. They have the almost like a communication antenna all off the top of them, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Little prawns going.
Yeah. It looks like one of those cattle prod things. It's like, ugh. So the Rangers, to me, I think these guys are they're scouts and long distance fighters. They are responsible for like locating and striking against enemy mech. Like they're able, because of their affiliation with machinery, they're able to like identify, pinpoint, and then attack and or at the very least report on the location of those mechs. And I also think that these guys do specialize in communication and relaying information across the battlefield. That's my guess.
Yeah, I definitely think that these are like longer range infantry fighters. I think that they are still infantry fighters. I would also say that like just based off of like all their mechanical stuff, I'm sure that they're enhanced in some way, whether that be for like stealth or maybe not stealth, maybe like running speed, or like even like a better, because like they have all of them have these things on like the corner of their thing that almost looks like kind of like the targeting system from Star Wars, you know? So like maybe there's like some sort of like aimbot or
aimbot. Yeah. We're gonna accuse them of cheating next.
Yeah, or like maybe some cloaking, or like they're just kind of like they have like extra bionic strength assisted by their machine parts. So cool. That's
okay.
What I got on that.
Point goes to Brady. The Skitarii are the primary soldiers of the Adeptus Mechanicus, but like all things in the Mechanicus, even their most basic infantry is a marvel of technology. Each Skitarii is equipped with a litany of bionic implants, which allow them to survive even the harshest environments. While Space Marines rely on power and the Astra Militarum relies on numbers, Skitarii focus on precision. Their aim is assisted by a suite of neural implants that allow them to quickly calculate where to aim in order to cause the most damage.
Okay, so it's not aimbot.
No, but like it is though. It's like, you know, in Terminator when he's got the red thing and it's like it like pinpoints a specific spot.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So next we've got the Cerberus Rider and the Cerberus Sulfur Hounds.
Oh, whoa! Wow, these are cool.
These are people who have like almost like a samurai and his sword connection with their mechanical
beast.
I also think that like maybe you have to give part of your being to it to control it, because it is a sort of like mechanical thing, and it looks like it's mostly mechanical. So I feel like there's some like give of life force, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure.
So that's what I'm gonna say on the Raiders.
I think with the Cerberus Raiders, I think specifically they construct their mounts themselves. I think that they have to build them. I think whereas like the Riders are more of like a harrying force and meant for like quick hit and run, these are like charge, like they're like in it. I think that's one of the key differences.
Yeah, but also off of that, the Hounds have the almost what I would attribute to like poisonous gas that they can shoot out, so that would give, or like flames, but I'm going with poisonous gas because I feel like that makes sense.
Skitarii who distinguish themselves in battle are sometimes given the honored position of Cerberus Rider. These Skitarii are implanted with a sacred device which allows them to directly link their minds with those of the cyber beasts they ride. The Cerberus is a swift and deadly construct, which Sulfur Hounds will often equip with a deadly Sulfur Breath flamethrower, which spews caustic chemical flames.
I mean, the point I think has to go to Brady. I totally missed the breath aspect, which like you said gas, but flames are gas on fire, right?
Yeah.
You know?
And also the Samurai Bond was very close.
Yeah.
Alright, so next we have the Corpuscarii Electro-priests and the Fulgurite Electro-priests.
They do look like they're
definitely
blind.
Like the top two look like they're blindfolded. This guy I can't tell.
He looks like he has like the sun tanning glasses on.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, the ones you do in a tanning bed.
Yeah.
I envision that these are psychers.
Yeah.
I think they're psychers. They have no armor, no weapons to speak of. So I think I think that the little things around them are intended to like tracks, amplifies, and then allows them to channel better. In the fashion of the Mechanicus, like using technology to sort of amp everything up. I think that they use those to amplify their own psychic abilities.
I'm going to go in an odd direction here, but I think that these are the like some brawlers that are equipped with like almost the Tesla coils that can when you hit them they shoot out electricity and almost like tase them. But I think
tase them.
Yeah, taser fists.
Taser fists.
I also think that they are they have to like almost sacrifice some of themselves to like use this power. The Tesla coil around the brain or around the head and their blindness makes me think that they are they need to use their sacrifice their psychic energy or like their mental health or something to be able to harness that power to fight, if that makes sense.
I like what Brady said, and I'm gonna pick it. I think these are the kind of berserkers. I think that because they got those big sticks, they look like they wade into combat, and they like don't wear armor because they're crazy people, and they just lay waste with these giant sort of antennas and use like psychic energy to just like blast people into oblivion.
Maybe the damage they take they can
like
redirect.
Amplify or redirect. That's pretty cool.
The Corpuscarii and Fulgurite Electro-priest. One aspect of the machine god all Mechanicus worship is the motive force. The motive force represents the very forces which propel both life and machinery, such as physics and energy. The Electro-priests are part of a radical cult which worships this force in the form of electricity. Each Electro-priest grafts special conduits into their nervous system, which allow them to harness energy through their own bodies. The process of channeling so much energy causes their eyes to melt in a phenomena they call the Omnissiah's Tears. There are two separate feuding doctrines of Electro-priest. The Corpuscarii believe in spreading the electrical glory of the motive force and using it as a means to purge the wicked. Corpuscarii wield special gauntlets that allow them to unleash crackling spears of lightning at their enemies. Meanwhile, Fulgurites jealously hoard energy, seeing its waste as a grave sin. The Corpuscari wield special staves that allow them to drain the energy from anything and everything, be it war machine or person, leaving behind a lifeless lump of matter in its wake.
So I think it's really interesting that there are two different sort of schools of thought even within this religion. Like, just like in real life, there's schisms within churches and differences in belief and like interpretation of doctrine.
Here are the Sicarian Infiltrator and the Sicarian Rust Stalker.
I think the difference is that these are intel based and the other ones are like assassins. Because these ones, their helmets and their antenna just give off the vibe of, hey, I'm here to collect information. While the other ones, hooded, they got just the almost...
They all got big knives.
Yeah, they got big knives. They look like they're about to like come up on you.
They kind of remind me of like General Grievous from Star Wars. Like, especially that one in front.
Yeah, very
similar. That vibe. But these ones look more like recon droids almost.
I think that based off their origins, I feel like there's some form of life needed to power these, but looking at the minis, they don't look like they have too much in terms of like human on them. So I'm thinking that these are groups of people who have fully committed to the Mechanicus life, so much that they have become wholly machine. But I think the main difference is that, the infiltrators are meant to gather data, and then we have these assassins who are meant to, I think, not be seen. It almost looks like they have like a grapple on a backpack. So like I'm sure that they're just meant to like get in, get out. We got the main guy with a claw. So
it looks like a tail almost. See that coming off of him?
Oh, maybe
with like a stinger on it.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that. I mean, Rust Stalker. I think these are assassins. But I think So that's what I got for those.
I think one of the core components of them is they're able to like basically like hardwire themselves into enemy tech and like download information. Like I feel like they can like, you remember the little droid in Transformers on the airplane who like plugs in and then like brings the plane, like messes with the plane. I feel like they can do that.
I mean, he looks like R2D2.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Like they look like they can do that. Sicarian Rust Stalkers, I mean, I don't have a lot to add there.
Yeah.
These guys look brutal.
Maybe talk about their weapons. Is there anything?
Yeah, those swords. I feel like their swords are, I mean, I'm trying to
very
like,
interesting.
They're
actually.
super interesting, and I feel like their swords.
Sword guns. That's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, actually, yeah, because they've got that like channel down the middle, so it almost they can like use them like they you know.
I see it as like a lever
like
action.
magnet, yeah. And then. Poof.
Yeah.
But it almost looks like it could shoot, like it could use like magnetic energy. I feel like these guys' swords somehow actually does use like electromagnetism.
Okay.
I feel like it somehow uses electromagnetism.
I can see that.
That could be something, but let's see what we've got here at the what we've got in our description. If a Skitarii falls in battle, but is deemed useful enough not to be harvested for parts, they are converted into a Sicarian. These elite warriors are often little more than a head and the scraps of a torso, held aloft by mechanical limbs. Sicarian infiltrators are a shock and awe strike force, which emits audio-visual white noise from their helmets, designed to overwhelm their enemies' senses and render them paralyzed and helpless before their assault. Any comparison to the Xenos, Witches, and the Shrieking Banshees is tech heresy and ground for immediate execution. Sicarian Rust Stalkers lack the deafening abilities of their infiltrator brethren, but are instead equipped with phase blades, which can directly pass through enemy armor as if it never existed, shredding the flesh beneath. Any comparison to the blades used by the abominable Necrons is tech heresy and grounds for immediate execution.
Whoa.
What? They phase? That's cool.
Okay, I'm alright being wrong on this one.
Yeah, dude, these guys are awesome.
Yeah, I think these are my favorites. And honestly, probably my favorite minis in a while. They're really
They're
cool.
very detailed. I love the lines of these minis. Like because they're so I don't know, they're kind of svelte, like the mech.
Yeah.
Like they've got the sort of smaller, more agile looking mechanical
droids,
bodies.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, these guys are really cool.
I like them a lot.
Here is our second to last one. This is a group of 3. The Tech Priest Manipulus, the Tech Priest Dominus, and the Tech Priest Engine Seer.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay. The Manipulus. I like this one. I have no idea what it does, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the sort of the Tech Priest that, going off the name and very, almost hypnotic look to it. I'm thinking that this one is the guy that tries to almost hack in using psyker energy to enemy tech and use it against their enemy. I don't know about the gun. That's too crazy for me. That's out of my league. But I think that this is the guy that just, turns enemy equipment against them. The Tech Priest Dominus, I mean, this is looking very similar to one that we've seen recently. I think that this is the ship mechanic because it looks very similar to when we played Chaos Gate.
Oh yeah, he looks a little bit like Lunette.
Yes, Lunette. And then the Engine Seer. I think that if we have Lunette as the Dominus, who's the mechanic alpha person, we have the we also have to have the ones that actually work on the stuff, So I'm thinking the Engine Seers are the ones that are in the rooms fixing stuff up and all of that sort of stuff. So that's what I got for those guys. Okay.
There's one thing that I've noticed about the Tech Priest Manipulus, and that is, look, it's making the shushing. You see that? It's like, at least it looks like it is.
I thought it was the shadow clone jutsu.
It might, yeah. maybe you're right. I don't know. But the Tech Priest Manipulus, I feel like the Tech Priest Manipulus is like a I think all of these are leaders in their own right.
Yeah.
I feel like the Tech Priest Manipulus might be the person who's in charge of the Ruststalkers and the other ones.
Okay.
I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're responsible for keeping things hidden, cloaking and sort of misdirection and tactics. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like that's maybe their responsibility. The Tech Priest Dominus, I feel like they're basically the generals of a unit or squadron of Mechanicus, and I feel like they're probably they're in charge. I just think that they're in charge. I don't know how else to say it other than that they lead squadrons. And then the Engine Seers, I feel like specifically are a combination. I feel like they are like you said, kind of like mechanics and diagnostic people who fix stuff. But I also feel like maybe they're the Tech Priests who are in charge of the robots and the siege, the destroyers and what's it called? The demolishers and the devastators.
Okay, point to Seth, actually. He got it the closest. Yes! The highest ranking members of Mechanicus society are the Tech Priests. Each one spends decades, or even centuries, mastering the sacred mysteries of science, physics, and engineering. Tech Priests differentiate themselves by how they apply their knowledge in both academia and battle. The Manipulus, for example, specializes in the raw power of the motive force, which they use to drain, channel, and express energy on the battlefield. Using the gifts of the motive force, they can enhance their armies by overcharging servitors or overclocking weapons cores, otherwise helping forces like the Skitarii. The Dominus, on the other hand, are masters of the Legio Cybernetica. They guide the mindless hordes of robots, servitors, and even the frothing zealotry of the Electro-priests with remarkable ease. Their focus on sheer offensive abilities makes them a danger, and often sees them shuffled away by more political elements of the church for fear of being overthrown or simply blown to bits over a minor schism. Engine Seers are one of the more common tech priests, who focus less on the philosophies of the mode of force or the fury of direct combat. These priests instead focus on the maintenance of holy vehicles, mending their components, and providing comfort to the spirits of the machine.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, not bad.
That's interesting that the Dominus, the Manipulus manipulates like the machinery to enhance it and make it more powerful.
Yeah.
And then the Dominus is interesting in that it's like literally the dominating general that
Right.
sort of, oversees
Stop.
all the.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
This is the last one.
Okay.
Gentlemen, may I introduce you to Belisarius Cawl.
Oh man. Where there's so much of him. I think the Belisarius Cawl is basically the Pope of the Church of Mechanus. I think that he is the religious figurehead as well as general. I think he's like a military. What's the word for like there's a word for societies like the Mechanus where like the church leads it. They're like
A theocrat?
Yeah.
right.
theocratic.
Yeah, it's theocratic, but like wartime theocratic society. I think that he's like both the general and the lead spiritual connection to the spirit of the machine.
Okay. I think he's a Sicarian. He's fallen on the battlefield, and was turned into one of these Sicarians, but has unrealistically like gained back not only like power, but also the mental fortitude of himself. And that's just through proven battle and that sort of stuff. I feel like he was an infiltrator.
Belisarius Cawl may be one of the oldest humans alive. At 10,000 years old, he predates even the Imperium itself. Though he could tell you little of such things, as his memories have been wiped at least twice in an effort to keep himself vaguely sane. Belisarius Cawl has worked closely with the Emperor and his sons, moving in the shadows and experimenting with sciences even his brothers in the Mechanicum would have deemed heretical. But his dubious nature is outstripped by his effectiveness, as the Emperor himself trusted him with the secret task of creating the Primaris Marines, the next generation of the Adeptus Astartes. He is a heretic of the highest order, and he may be key to humanity's salvation.
Wow.
So he is a heretic. It's just who's gonna do anything about it?
Yeah.
Like, he experiments with tech heresy, but honestly, tech heresy at this point is like inventing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Wow.
And he's old as
Yeah,
heck.
he's old. Is he older than the Emperor?
No. The Emperor has been going around since, like, the Stone Age. This
Oh.
guy's just older than the Imperium.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something really brutal about converting man to machine.
Yes.
That is very, like, I always wonder, like, does it hurt all the time? You know, because, like, your body's not really made to be, like, in metal like that.
Yeah.
Like, it probably hurts all the time.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy to me.
That's what we call dedication
I know,
to the
right?
craft.
But that concludes today's episode of G-Mineo. I've been Patrick, your host.
That's
And,
Brady. I'm Seth.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right. And as always, game it till you make it.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.